Hey RHF, this is Mitchard. A few people asked me to do a packing video for the small funnel, so I'll load some Tangiers in there and show you guys how I do it. First off, I guess I should probably cover this. These are all small funnels. You can tell they're all a little bit different in size, some of them more so than others. Starting over on this end, this is the oldest one I own, and also the smallest. I bought it probably around, I want to say 2 years ago from Hookah Company. And same with this one. This one's another older one. It's probably, I think I bought this around a year ago, but I have a feeling it's a little older than that. This one, I'm not too sure on the actual age of it. It's a little bit bigger than the other two older ones. I want to say this one's even older than those because I haven't seen any of the tricolor ones in quite a while. But yeah, I got that in a trade a few weeks ago. And this one would be one of the newer ones as well. I got this from John probably around a month ago. And while it is bigger than the other three, it's still not bad at all. And the last one would be one I bought from John, that was probably 6 months ago. And that one is quite a bit bigger than the rest of them. You can probably tell by the video a little bit. Give you an overhead, it might show a little bit better. But that one is closer to a medium, I'd say. It's not quite as wide as a medium or as tall as the medium, though the height doesn't really matter. But it is quite a bit deeper. So yeah, it holds a lot more than a small should, in my opinion. But that's what happens. But since there are a few different sizes, and most of you probably have one similar to this brown one, I will load that one up for the example. Alright, you'll have to bear with me. I have to rig up the camera and everything when I do this. Alright, so for this one, I think I will pack some Indian Summer. Haven't had that in a while. Alright, but there's really no trick to it. You just gotta grab a clump of it and start shoving it in there. As you guys know, Tangiers needs to be packed a little bit, or actually quite a bit tighter than most other brands. But yeah, don't be light on it at all. Just start grabbing chunks of it and putting it in the bowl. Doesn't really need to be pretty right now. You can figure that out in a minute. But I guess I'll probably show that a little bit better. Once you actually grab a chunk to put it in, just grab it in and kind of pat it down a little bit. And when you grab the next one, I like to put it in right next to the tobacco that's already there and kind of push it up against it to make sure that it's all filled up and there's no empty spaces in there. So I'll just keep going around in a circle around the bowl until I feel like there's enough in there. And another thing, once you've got it full and it doesn't really seem like it's packed to the brim, you can kind of push out on the edges to make sure that you get it in there nice. Alright, once I actually get the bowl packed up to where I think it's nice, it's a little overflowing for the time, but I'll go through and kind of push it down in there to make it flush with the edge of the bowl. Another thing you got to do is make sure you get all the tobacco off the sides of the bowl so they're not going over the rim, and make sure none is going down into the hole. Going down over the hole, it's going to give you some restriction possibly if you get a bunch down there, block it up. Kind of brush the rest of it off. And next thing I do is kind of pat it down with my palm of my hand, make it a little bit better as far as being flush on the rest of the bowl goes. Alright, so it's packed pretty tightly. I guess best I could compare it to would be how it is actually out of the package. Maybe not quite like as tight as it is packed in the brick, but pretty damn close. Alright, I'm going to wash my hands really quick. I know a lot of people like to use oyster forks, including Eric at the lounge, but this just works easy for me. You have a little bit more control over it with your hands. So, once I get through there, just grab a paper towel or a napkin or something, just wipe around the edge of the bowl to make sure it's all off. Make sure nothing over the edge. Main reason I like to make sure it's not overflowing onto the edges is, well, I guess, look at this brown bowl, look at this bowl. These are, this one in particular I know is used and a little old probably because I just got it in trade. But you can see how clean it is. It looks like new. Same with the blue one. You can probably see how nice that is. And the black one as well. It's a little bit harder to see, but you can see there's no buildup on the edges. It's nice and smooth like it is when it was brand new. But this one on the other hand, you can see there's black gunk running around the edge. Looks dirty. looks kind of shitty in my opinion, even though it's covered up by the foil once you're actually smoking. It's just kind of a pet peeve. You can blame Derek SD for this one because he's a lazy asshole and doesn't pack his bowls right. I love you, Derek. But, alright, now that the bowl's nice and cleaned up, get some foil going. I like to use the Reynolds HD foil. Comes in the rolls of a foot. Works good. You just rip one of the pieces in half. Not too big. I like to get them a little bit bigger than a lot of people do, just so that they're actually wrapped around the base of the bowl. Gives a little bit better seal on it. So at first I'll foil it like normal kind of, and then I'll go around and do that foil test that's shown in Eric's video. Just kind of push it down with my palm, make sure that all the tobacco is even once it's in there. Kind of gives you an idea of whether it's overpacked or not. Kind of a rule of thumb I use is if you can see the spire in the middle, once you push it down or around the middle hole, then you should be good. So once I go through there, or actually I'll pull the foil off. You will get juice on the foil. With Tangiers, it doesn't matter if you touch the foil. It doesn't with most brands, really. But you can see it's nice and even now. It's pretty much flush with the bowl. So refoil that real quick. Alright, as far as my holes go, I like to use a toothpick. And I've been changing this up over the years a little bit. But currently I've been doing it like this, where it's not quite the distance of another hole in between. It's a little bit more, but you can go through. I'm not sure exactly how many holes will be in each ring, but you can kind of get the general spacing idea on this one. I used to do quite a few less holes in this, probably about half of this on the outside ring, but lately I've been stepping it up a little bit and testing out different methods. But depending on the size of your bowl, you should be able to get 4 rings on it. If you got one of the older smalls that isn't quite as wide as these, you might only be able to get 3 depending on how you space it out. But with these, I can generally get 4. And another thing a lot of people do is poking all the way to the bottom of the bowl. It's not really necessary. That was just kind of a thing people were doing. That was recommended by Eric, I believe, originally, but that was, from what I've been reading lately, that was for Tangiers before the funnel was invented, while it was still being packed in Egyptians, so you could get more airflow to the bottom. But with the funnel, it doesn't really matter, since there's no airflow going so much through the tobacco. Yeah, wipe it off at the end, get all the juice off, and there you go. You have a nice shot of that, so you can kind of see my distance in my holes. Toothpicks, good hole size. When you get them even on there, not that it necessarily matters how even it is, but as long as you get a decent amount of holes, you should be okay. Some people like doing the hole over the middle of the bowl. I don't do it. I find that if it's packed right, you really don't need to. I know that even Eric does it, but it's been working fine for me for quite a while without one. So yeah, get some coals going and I'll show you how it smokes. I got 3 of the Cornucopia gnats right now, and let me set the camera down while I pop those on the bowl. Alright, for this bowl I'm only using 2 right now. Once they get a little bit smaller, I'll throw the 3rd on. I will be smoking this thing out of one of the new Alnauras, or however you want to pronounce it, pipes that John got in. So they're probably the nicest quality Syrians I've seen come into the country in the last year or so, as far as what I've actually seen. This one in particular, I don't remember which one. I think it's the 29G or the 28G or something like that. But it's the gold one. The vases are really, really nice, actually. They're not that thick, but the quality seems to be nice. The shape is nice as well, and kind of got these cool flowers on them too, I guess, if that's your thing. But see if you can see a little bit better detailing on the stem. It's actually really cool. They did some good engravings on it, which is pretty different from a lot of the engravings you see. Can't see that too well out of the light. A little too reflective, but you get the point. But yeah, as far as the coals go, generally I just put them straight on there, just opposite of each other. Don't really need to overlap them or anything. Alright, and I'm using the Narbiche. I think this was a V3 with one of the dual metal KM mouth tips. It's the copper and the stainless. Alright, so a real trick with getting Tangiers right in the Tangiers funnels is just practice. That's all there is to it. Watch as many videos as you can. Check out the forums for all the info on people who know how to do it. And yeah, just kind of take it all in and figure out which method works better for you. I know mine's different than a lot of people's, but everybody has their own way of doing it. And there's no real way to say which one's right as long as it works for you. Yeah, as far as information goes, if this video didn't help you out, you use my method and it just wasn't working for you, shoot me a PM. I'm on Royal Hookah Forum and Hookah Forum. You should be able to find me on there. I'm usually on there daily. You should be able to find me. If not, you can hop into the tiny chat for Royal Hookah Forum, and there's plenty of guys in there that can help you out. If I'm not there, just look for Frank or one of those other guys you know from the forum, and somebody will be able to send you in the right direction. So, good luck packing, and see you guys later.